Hi everyone, this is Venus. You've all been corresponding with me over email. We are going to get started shortly. We're just waiting for a couple of more people to join us. It's now 6:32, so in about 2 or 3 minutes we're going to get started. If you haven't already seen, there is a link to sign into this session. It is directly under your screen. It should read volunteer sign in with a link. If you can go ahead and sign in at this time, that would be great. And we'll get started shortly. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. We're going to get started. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate all of your time and service, especially at this event. I can't say how thankful we are. Without you guys, we really wouldn't be able to put this wonderful event on for New Yorkers. So we're going to get started again, just below the picture screen, below the PowerPoint, you will see there is a volunteer sign-in, a Google form that you can go ahead and click through and sign in. It'll just ask you your first name, your last name, and your email address. So just before you sign out of the session, make sure that you go in there and sign in so that I'm tracking who was able to attend and who wasn't. So this is going to be about 20-30-minute presentation. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. We're going to go through a PowerPoint, and Scott Ritter, if you look over to the column on the right of the PowerPoint slide on your screen, you'll see he's on the live chat taking any questions, concerns. You'll see a number of people have gone in and chatted him and said hello. So make sure that you're using that on the right there, live chat, and inputting any questions. He'll be able to write back to you immediately, or at least let me know so that I can in turn let you guys know over the voiceover. So we're going to get started now. Thank you again for joining us. So this is the Winter Jam 2017 orientation and training. And just for some of you who aren't too familiar with the event and haven't joined us before, Winter Jam is an annual winter sports festival presented by the New York City Parks Department, and we partner with Lake Placid, I Love New York, and Ski New York. It takes place in Central Park this coming Saturday, January 28th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It is a completely free and open event. We invite about 25,000 New Yorkers for a fun-filled day packed with free winter-themed activities for all ages and abilities. So it's a great event, and it's a great program for New Yorkers. Okay. Some of the highlighted featured events at this year's Winter Jam include Arctic Golf, flag football, live ice sculpting, an ice slide. This is really, really cool, but unfortunately, it's really geared towards the younger ones, so children under the age of 5, but still a fun thing to do. Fit Fun on the Run and the Fit Fun Mobile, also Shuffleboard, Foursquare, Taste New York will be having some of their vendors at a winter market and also sampling in the warming hut. And then REI will be doing some of their workshops, including winter camping, wilderness survival, how to pack your pack. So some of you may know and are familiar with this event and may have already heard, we usually blow snow at this event. But due to the warmer weather, believe it or not, we will not be able to blow snow at this year's event. So what that means is we will not be able to execute learn to ski and snowboard, sledding, or snowshoeing. So those will not be offered at this year's event, which is unfortunate, but we have come up with some new activities. You'll see that live ice sculpting and the ice slide, as well as shuffleboard and Foursquare are all new to this year's event. So we're really excited to have those, and we're not at all worried that we're going to have a lot of fun things for people to do and, of course, for you to volunteer at. So this here is the Winter Jam site map. This is a map that we used throughout the site. So we have directionals along the park that have this map illustrated for our participants and guests to take a look at, but it's also handy for you to look at it and see it and know what it looks like. We call out some of our main areas. This here is primarily the bandshell area within Central Park. It's called the Naumburg Bandshell. The fountain that you see there to the left is Bethesda Fountain. So if you're familiar with Central Park, this is Bethesda Fountain and Naumburg Bandshell. And the pink word bubbles indicate what's happening within those areas, generally speaking. So just take a quick look at this. I'll also be sharing this PowerPoint with you after the presentation. So if you want to print it out or just study it a little bit more, you're going to be able to do that. This is Dead Road. This is one of the more active areas in the event. So you'll see a lot of our recreational activities. So flag football is down here, the Arctic Golf, as well as the ice slide, ice bowling. We'll also have the shuffleboard down here and the Urban Park Ranger workshops. So a lot of fun activities going on down here. The bandshell area, which is the map that I presented just now, is more catered towards our sponsors. So you'll have a lot of sponsor booths. You'll have the winter market where you're able to buy some fun treats, including fresh baked bread, pies, soaps. There's also the Taste New York warming hut. Participants will be able to go in there and grab some samples of teas and granola bars. There's also going to be food trucks, so food for purchase. Yourselves and also the participants can obviously take part in buying some of those treats, as well as the live ice sculpting. Entertainment will also happen in this area. Just behind the live ice carving, there's a large bandshell where we'll have live entertainment. So this is a pretty upbeat area to be in. Some volunteer opportunities and what you can most likely expect to be assigned to. Here is the list of things that we're going to be asking you to help us with. Urban Park Rangers are going to do a number of workshops. They're going to be doing some potpourri sachets with some mulch. REI is also going to be doing some workshops, including winter camping, wilderness survival, and how to pack your pack. There'll be ice bowling, flag football, Fit Fun on the Run is an obstacle course, Arctic golf, which is just simply golf, ice slide, shuffleboard, foursquare, the warming hut, and Quidditch. And what you can expect to be doing at any one of these activities are helping with facilitate the actual activity itself. So for instance, flag football, you may be asked to, coordinate a game, be a quarterback, be a defensive lineman, or you may be asked just to help out with controlling a line or managing a line. You may be asked to help with signing waivers. You'll notice that there's 4 activities on this page that have an asterisk. These activities require a waiver, which I'll go into on the next slide. But just keep in mind that a lot of these activities require some sort of operational needs. So, just helping out with controlling lines, managing lines, and facilitating the activity itself. So helping out with the game's rules or just implementing some sort of strategy or play. So on the topic of waivers, which I just mentioned, there is 4 activities at this year's Winter Jam that require waiver signing. So the following activities will require participants to sign a waiver. Anyone over the age of 18 can sign for themselves. Anyone under the age of 18 needs a legal guardian to sign on their behalf. And they include flag football, Fit Fun on the Run, ice slide, and Quidditch. So what you can expect to see is tables set up at these activities to facilitate the waiver signing. Everyone who wants to take part in an activity, any one of these activities, regardless of their age, must sign a waiver, and then in turn they get a wristband. So once the participant has signed one time, they don't need to do so again. So they don't have to sign 4 individual waivers for all 4 of these activities, regardless of what activity it is. So once you sign once, even if it's at the flag football table, you're set for all 4 activities, as long as they've acknowledged the risk with any of these activities. Okay. So I'm going to move along to some more operational things. Check-in, very important. Check-in does start at 9 a.m. This event, again, starts at 11 a.m., but we're show ready by 10 a.m. So it's important that we have our volunteers check in just so that we have some time in that 2-hour window to orient you, to take you to the correct location, to make sure that you understand your assignment, if there's any questions or concerns that we're able to answer them for you. So it's important that you arrive at 9 a.m. There will be a designated volunteer check-in tent. It'll be properly labeled. And at that moment, at that time, you'll receive you'll have to sign a waiver, just agreeing to be a volunteer with New York City Parks. And you'll also receive a vest, which identifies you as a volunteer. And you'll also receive a lanyard, which identifies you as a volunteer. So it's a little bit of a credential for everyone to know that you're a volunteer and everyone is properly identified. So we ask you to come to the volunteer check-in tent by 9 a.m. Just a little bit more detail on that. I say the easiest way to find the volunteer check-in tent is by typing the Naumburg Bandshell into your Google Maps or into your cell phone. It's a pretty searchable, prominent landmark. So the actual tent will be located just north of the Bandshell. You'll be able to see it. It'll be a white canopy tent. But as long as you get to the Naumburg Bandshell, you can ask a number of people, staff members specifically, where the volunteer check-in tent is, and they'll be really they'll be able to help you, guide you there. But it's all of 100 feet from the Naumburg Bandshell. So the easiest point of entry into the park are 72nd and 5th Avenue or 72nd and CPW. The Naumburg Bandshell is located right in the center of the park at 72nd Street. I've listed out some possible transportation options. So there's several subway options and there's several bus options. None of them, come directly into the park. You'll have to walk from the perimeter, but all of them leave you pretty close. Sorry. So here is a tentative volunteer schedule. If you are, concerned or wondering what your day will look like, you'll check in at 9 a.m. At 9:30, all the volunteers will report to their activations. So hopefully within that 30-minute to an hour window, I will have oriented all of you and assigned you to a location where you'll report. At 10 a.m., we are show ready, so we expect some early comers. Again, the event doesn't start till 11, but we do expect some early comers, and we want to make sure that all the activations, all the activities are ready to go. And so we would like to place you all by then. Granted, we know that sometimes things come up, so we'll kind of see how things go and we'll roll with the punches, but our expectation is to be show ready by 10 a.m. There will be lunch provided for everyone at this event. We start lunch rotations around 11:30 in the morning. We will most likely do 3 lunch rotations. So from 11:30 to 1:45, you can expect to eat lunch. The lunch options are provided by Panera Bread. So there'll be a sandwich option, vegetarian and or other. So chicken salad or tuna, turkey, ham. Basic options. There'll be snacks also provided, and hot beverages, as well as water, of course. So if that's something that you know that you're unable to eat, I would suggest reaching out to me, but also possibly packing your own lunch if you have very strict dietary restrictions. But again, you can expect to eat between 11:30 a.m. and 1:45, and there's plenty of snacks and refreshments to go around during that time. At 3 p.m., the event closes, so we start shutting down lines and we start putting an end to all the activities, wrapping up equipment, and then by 4 p.m., possibly sooner, you can come back to sign out and return the props. So you have about a window to help your team captains or any staff assigned to that area kind of pick up the area. Some areas require more infrastructure than others. There might be some barricades, there might be tents, there might be some tables and chairs, and there just might be some props that are required for the activity. So depending on where you're assigned, your breakdown of that activity may be shorter or longer than someone else's, but you can expect to be signed out no later than 4 p.m. So I just want to quickly go over some common issues that have come up at not only this event, but some of our other events, and it's a good thing to be aware of and kind of know the do's and don'ts. So lost children are a pretty common issue at our events. It's nothing to be alarmed about. We do, like I said, use the Bandshell, the Naumburg Bandshell, as our entertainment stage. So in the case that you have a lost child and you are not able to locate a staff member, you should feel free to bring them to the stage area, and we will make a PA announcement and reconnect the child with their parent, or vice versa. If the parent has lost their child and they're asking you what to do, you can direct them to a park staff person, you can direct them to a parks enforcement officer, or you can direct them towards the stage where an announcement can be made. Unruly guests and line cutters, you'd be surprised, this does come up every once in a while. We encourage you to try to diffuse the situation, but not really get involved. If you see that someone's being unruly, you should just really notify parks enforcement and let them handle it. We wouldn't want to put you at risk or anyone else. So if you do feel like someone is refusing to comply, we would just recommend that you notify the parks enforcement or park staff. And again, rest assured there will be plenty of staff going around. They'll all be identified with a credential similar to what you'll be wearing. The only difference is that there will say staff versus volunteer. They'll also have some sort of parks gear on, whether that be a jacket or a sweater or a hat. It'll have some sort of parks identification in view of a leaf, the parks leaf. So in any moment that you feel unsure of something or need help or have a question, you should feel free to go to any one of park staff or parks enforcement and ask for their advice. Another issue that we've had are cuts, scrapes, and black and blues. For less serious injuries, you can direct them to a first aid station or our waiver tables. We do put first aid kits at our waiver stations, at our waiver tables, So those 4 activities that require a waiver to be signed will serve as our waiver stations / tables, and a first aid kit should be available there. If not, you can definitely find one at the staff and volunteer tent, which is where you'll check in. So those are available to you if you get injured in some way, and or if a participant gets injured, you can direct them to one of those stations. In a more serious case, you should notify park staff and of course call 911, who will dispatch an ambulance. And a more serious concern would obviously be, a broken bone, if someone got injured in that way, and or severe bleeding that can't be stopped or covered by cuts, by a Band-Aid or something found in the first aid kit. So, we trust you to make your best judgment, but definitely notify park staff and we can assist in that situation. And if nobody's around, feel free and comfortable, confident in calling 911. So some things not to forget, very important, and we've found that our volunteers are glad that they brought these things, are a water bottle or a thermos. Water fountains will be on site. It is a park, so we have several water fountains throughout, and hot drinks will be available, including coffee, teas, and hot chocolate. So make sure that you bring those and, feel free to take advantage of those things. Also, dress comfortably and warm. So warm shoes, closed-toed shoes, waterproof if necessary, coats, gloves, and hats. We can't, emphasize enough. It will be a cold day and you're going to be on your feet and outdoors for a long period of time. So it's important that you dress comfortably and warm and are protecting yourself. We do provide a volunteer vest, but it doesn't provide very much coverage or warmth. It goes over your outer wear, so we expect it to go over your coat and still be visible, but it doesn't protect you from any weather conditions and or keep you warm. Again, don't forget, check-in is at 9 a.m. and we are show ready at 10 a.m. Once you do check in and have signed your waiver, don't forget your lunch and snack vouchers. Those will be very important to you when you are ready to take a break and indulge in some lunch. And then, of course, sign out and return the items. So among the items that you'll be returning are your credentials, your vest, and any equipment or props that need to be returned to the staff and volunteer tent. Okay, so we have reached the end of our orientation. I hope that I have answered some of your questions. If not, again, we are on the live chat and are open and happy to answer any questions or concerns that you may have. But we have ended our session at this time. I've promised you that it would not have gone over 30 minutes, and we are just under that. So I want to remind you to sign in before you log off this session. Please go to the Google form and just type check in your name and your email address so that I know that you attended this session. And if you have any further questions that maybe you think of just later on this evening or prior to Saturday, feel free to reach out to me. This is my work office number as well as my mobile, which I'll have on me the day of the event. So it's a good number to keep handy, and my email address. So again, these are good numbers to save on the day of the event. If you're for some reason lost or running late, you can shoot me an email or call me on my cell phone number. And if you have, of course, any questions or concerns leading up to it, feel free to call my office. Okay, so again, we're open for questions. If you have any, feel free to live chat us, and we're going to be here for the next probably 5 to 10 minutes answering any questions. And if there's no questions, we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Again, thank you so much for volunteering. We really appreciate it, and see you on Saturday. Thank you. Have a good night.